We've been here once before. We're gonna go get some food. You guys know we're gonna get some coffee. And then we're gonna look at a training museum that we went to before. It's actually really awesome, really fascinating. Irene recently reminded me that if it wasn't for flying, we would have never discovered some truly remarkable locations. And it includes our next stop. We flew here 2 years ago, and when we departed even back then, we knew we'd be back. And today was even better than the first time. So it was slightly hazy today, but still beyond the haziness is the true beauty of the high desert, which is still crazy to me when you think about how in SoCal you can go from an island on Catalina to the tall snowy mountains in Big Bear and then be in the desert all within a day. Now this desert is truly special, especially for aviation, with Edwards Air Force Base and Mojave Air and Spaceport to the east, Fox Airfield and Plant 42 to the south. And whether it's top secret projects for the newest stealth fighter or public projects like supersonic travel, that's all here. And we'd find out by the end of the day just how prevalent it really is in this area. Unfortunately today we would not see either, but we will be eating at some amazing barbecue, visit a really fascinating train museum. I know, some of you are like, trains, really? But yes, really. It was actually pretty fascinating. And finally, we'll be doing a sunset departure, which we usually don't do because of poor lighting, but there's nothing like a desert sunset. All as we visit Tehachapi Municipal Airport in Tehachapi, California. So today, even though it looks completely VFR, we actually flew out of Corona IFR. But once we were above the clouds, we canceled IFR and continued VFR through the Cajon Pass at 8,500 feet. Since once we got into the desert, it was clear blue skies, which again is why IFR is amazing. Sometimes you just use it to get in and out of places.
Tehachapi traffic, Aero 1939er Hotel, 6 miles southeast, inbound, left traffic for runway 29, Tehachapi.
So as we go in, a little history about the airport. There's not much that I could find, but the little bit I did find out was that it was established in 1929 and it was used as an airmail route between Tehachapi and Bakersfield. But on July 21st, 1952, at 4:52 in the morning, Kern County was hit with a 7.3 magnitude earthquake. And it mostly affected the city of Tehachapi, and it became inaccessible by road or rail. And the airport then became critical because they would have emergency relief airlifts for several weeks. Tehachapi Airport is non-towered and has one runway, 1129 at 4,040 feet. But more importantly, it's at an elevation of 4,001 feet. Our previous visit was on a warm day and density altitude was 6,000 feet, which is why we typically don't top off fuel here. There used to be a sign that would tell you the density altitude, but it looks like they took it out. Now, if you weren't convinced how prevalent the winds are here from seeing all those wind turbines, well, they also have a glider port at Mountain Valley Airport, just a couple of miles south of Tehachapi Airport. So when you fly into here, always keep your eyes outside and sterile cockpit to listen out for glider traffic. Both airports use the exact same CTAF frequency along with another airport we could just barely make out, so remain extremely vigilant. So the first time we came here, we had no idea what we were doing. It was our 33rd airport, and we might or might not have filmed anything. I'm convinced we did, Irene not so much. I have to dig into the archives to verify, but still, we knew we had to come back, especially for the food. And that glider traffic probably won't have ADS-B, which was the case for us here today. The only way we could see this traffic coming up was by looking outside the window. And you also have to remember that aircraft are not required to have ADS-B out here. Now, in retrospect, I probably should have gone on the CTAF and let them know we had them in sight, but it's something I can do better for the next time. All right, some real talk, full disclosure with you. I get asked, how do you prepare for all these airports? The answer to that is actually really easy. We have a whole checklist, all the tools. It goes way beyond NW Craft. And we're hoping to do a video on that in the near future. But the real thing that I think every pilot deals with, at least I do, especially going into new airports, is the fear of what you don't know, the fear of the weather changing, the fear of the winds might not be what you thought they were, whatever it is. It's always a fear because you've never been there. Part of the reason why we created this channel, to let you guys at least get an inside view of a real pilot going into these airports and just sharing our challenges with you guys so you're not surprised. But of course, we can't cover every scenario. We just try to cover what we experience and try to share that as much as possible with you guys. And this is just to say, if you're afraid of going to new airports, just know so are we.
Tehachapi traffic, Aero 1939er Hotel, entering the 45 for 29, full stop, Tehachapi.
Now, as we slowly make our way in, what makes visiting here unique is that Tehachapi has a long history with trains. And even on a busy day here, they can get a train every 15 minutes passing through. Matter of fact, they have a train landmark called the Tehachapi Loop, which is a rail loop where the train will go under itself. We flew around the loop the first time we visited, but today we would leave a little later than expected, so we didn't get a chance.
Tehachapi traffic, Aero 39er Hotel, entering left downwind for 29, full stop, Tehachapi.
And there in that not so far distance, yeah, that's Mountain Valley Airport.
Tehachapi traffic, Aero 39er Hotel, turning left base for 29, Tehachapi.
So what's the weather like here? Well, it's still the desert, so the average in the middle of summer is about 100 degrees and 63 in the deep of winter. Obviously, summer is always best to fly first thing in the morning if you want to beat the heat and high density altitudes, because if you did come in at the peak of the heat, you'd be contending with about 7,500 foot density altitude. And considering the airport is in a bowl with hills shortly after the departure in a runway 29, well, if you don't have a turbo or you're not comfortable with high elevation flying with low aircraft performance, it's best to go with someone who is. For us though, 100-degree weather flying is never fun.
Tehachapi traffic, Aero 39er Hotel, short final for 29, full stop, Tehachapi.
Now there is another important weather fact here, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess considering all those spinning fans. Yeah, winds. And with the sheer number of wind turbines you see, you can also guess it gets pretty windy. The closest weather station is Bakersfield, and in the summer, historical wind speeds are into the 20 knots with gusts into the 30 knots. But again, with the geography surrounding this airport, expect those rotors to come around the peaks of the mountains, causing some turbulence. Today, even though it was windy, it was pretty smooth. The winds were probably just perfectly hugging the terrain, which was great for us. The only time we did feel the 14-knot headwind was during final approach, but besides that, it was smooth.
Tehachapi traffic, Aero 39er Hotel, clear of runway 29 Tehachapi.
One thing we've learned about visiting the high desert, including Tehachapi, is you never know what kind of pilots you'll meet. And there's actually a lot of pilots in this area that are test pilots in Mojave and even Edwards. So if you happen to strike up a conversation with a pilot here, you honestly never know. They could be a B-2 Spirit pilot. Now there is decent price self-serve fuel on the field, which we usually don't use because again, we stay light to depart and we have nearly 4 hours of fuel for a 45-minute trip without fueling up, so no need to top off. Now this area to our right is the transient parking area, and every spot has tie-down chains. My favorite thing about this is that it's actually pointed in the perfect direction. It's pointed to the west, which is where all the winds usually come from. Now what's unique here is that there is a campground right next to the parking, but we did read a sign right outside the pedestrian gate that says no overnight camping. Now that wasn't there the first time we came here, so something must have changed. But regardless, if you're gonna go do all your walking, all your sightseeing, and you just wanna come back and take a break, this is a great spot for that. So now that we've made it, it's time to spend the day at Tehachapi. Today we are in Tehachapi. We made it. One of the things that you can kind of hear right now, it's really windy here. And to be honest, I'm not against it so much because as a pilot, when you depart, it's a 4,000 foot runway. You're at 5,000 feet. Density altitude could be 6,000 feet. So the wind really does help for that performance. But anyways, we're gonna check out this camp. I've seen it once, but it's been 2 years since we've been here, so let's go check it out again. So they have this plaque here, and I think this plaque is what it says. I've seen it at other places, but this is the first time I ever saw this plaque. And I was like, oh my God, it's so true. Because it's a Leonardo da Vinci quote, but I had never seen that quote before. When we came here 2 years ago the first time, I read it and I was like, yeah, that's about right. It says, once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will always long to return. And it's so true. Truth is, as a kid, like I would look skyward before I even flew any plane. I was always fascinated by them.
Well, they have these like little medallions on there.
Oh yeah. Oh. Tehachapi Society of Pilots. Oh. Good one. I like this one. This says, for David Zwegli, says, for most, the sky is the limit. For pilots, the sky is home.
That's pretty clever.
That's a really good one. So I have to start by apologizing for two things. Two things I kept getting wrong, I guess, this entire video. One is that for some reason I kept saying Tehachapi was at 5,000 feet elevation. It is not. It is at 4,001 feet. And number two, that my favorite barbecue place here was called Red Barn. It is not that also. It's called Red House. Sorry about that. I do call it out the times I say it wrong. And Tehachapi makes it really easy to pay your overnight fees. As you guys saw, it's $5 a night. Oh, these are all the... I swear this wasn't here last time.
I don't think it was either.
I think so, because it's cool. It gives you any government stuff, hotels and travel, parks and rec, museums, and entertainment. Rail Depot Museum, and that's what we'll be going to today. Cool.
Yeah, this is a really cool...
Yeah. Oh, and there's even an app. In case.
And I like how they have a little train.
Yeah. It says you are here. So yeah, so today we're gonna take this down, cross, and I think on this side is the barbecue place, right?
Yeah, your favorite.
What's it called?
Red Barn, I think.
Oh, Red Barn Barbecue. Oh my God, can't wait for that. So good. This is the fuel depot right here, or the fuel island, whatever you want to call it. One of the things that they do have here, it's relatively cheaper than most places, but because it's 5,000 feet and density altitude can go 6,000, 7,000 feet, we typically don't put fuel. We have, right now, based on what the monitor said, we have 40 gallons of fuel, which is like 4 hours of fuel for us, and the trip home is only an hour, so we don't need it, but it's not expensive fuel, which is always good.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh man,
We need one of these.
we are completely jealous of this. It's a pain at home to figure out where to put the oil, but this is awesome. Good job, Tehachapi.
It's nice because they have these pedestrian exit signs all over the place, so if you don't know where to go, just keep following the signs.
Yeah, essentially you park east, walk west.
And you're walking towards this, I think they call it the terminal, right?
Yeah, they do.
See, there's another sign.
Oh.
And we're gonna go right towards that terminal.
And oh, that's what I found. It's a civil air patrol that does this.
Oh, really?
This is theirs. Yeah.
Oh.
So
That's cool.
thanks to Cap for making this available for pilots. Let me just check it real quick. Enter runway number. To Tehachapi Airport crew, thanks for the support. Always a pleasure coming home. And it's a picture. Yes, Air Force. X-ray 44. That's cool. They got hangar space. $450 a month. One of the things we always do is check the bulletin board because you never know what kind of information you'll find. For example, when we went to Santa Ynez, we found out they have a grass patch that looks out onto the runway, and we wouldn't have known that unless we looked at the bulletin board. Now, if you just want shelter from the winds, the heat, or just need a bathroom break, this is a great stop for that. And just want to send out, again, some appreciation to Civil Air Patrol Squadron 46 for making this lounge available to us. Thank you, guys. All right. Pedestrian exit.
And it's nice because it doesn't look like there's a code or anything. It's
I know.
Just...
Oh, that's true. No code.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh. So that's good to know.
So it's not allowed.
Overnight camping is not permitted at Aviator Park.
Maybe it's just for the day then, just hanging out.
Maybe. All right, so back there is where we did the pedestrian exit from. There's the airport. Hannah's somewhere over there. And we are going down this field. I don't know if this is necessarily the official way, but I know a lot of people that use this field to get to the main street, which is where we're gonna go. We're gonna go have some barbecue. Yeah, hopefully that'll help a little bit better. It's right there. Oh my God. All right, so we just finished eating at Red Barn. I ate way too much. We got our first order, which was brisket.
Brisket.
Was delicious. The hot links, which was really good. I didn't remember exactly what it tasted like. I just remember the last time thinking, this is amazing. But you thought it was like the best one you've ever had.
Hot link? Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I was telling Irene, I was like, if there's anything that makes me really happy is that for when I'm really craving barbecue and to have some amazing barbecue, I'm like in heaven. This place here, if you guys come to Tehachapi, you guys gotta check this out if you love barbecue. It was really good. I overdid it. We were good. The original order was the shared brisket, the hot link. What else was there? Oh, your red
slaw, which is really good. It's nice and tangy and it's crispy. Like, yeah.
And mac and cheese, which is so cheesy.
And it had just come out of the oven. I think she said it was like our order was going to take 5 minutes longer because they were just pulling the mac and cheese out of the oven, so it was so cheesy.
Like you said, like that means it's going to be fresh.
Yeah.
And it was.
And there was cornbread too.
Oh, and there was cornbread. I didn't have cornbread. I'm not a cornbread fan. But yeah. But anyways, this is our first stop. Now we're going to head that way to the west and start heading towards the
train depot.
And again, we were here 2 years ago to see if anything's changed there, but it's already busier. The last time we came, it wasn't that busy here.
But I think you had a good point. 2023, people were still kind of coming out of the COVID mode.
Yeah.
And things were just really opening up. So that may have been why we saw a lot less people then than we're seeing now, because when we came in, I think we took one of the last 2 tables inside.
Oh yeah,
today. And then there's seating outside, and that seemed pretty filled up, and people were standing around, orders to go. I mean, it was.
And you're saying 2 years ago, it was like It was empty.
Yeah, we were one of 3 tables that were actually filled in there. So,
Yeah, so it's good. We're really happy to see Tehachapi busy and bustling. So, but I'm glad we ate first, so we can take this 8-minute walk and try to burn some of this food off because it was so good. So yeah, definitely highly recommend this place when you guys come.
It's really good. I mean, they have a lot of good places to eat. Unfortunately, it's Sunday, so there's a lot of places that are closed. This is one of them that is open. They do open at 11, so if you decide to come early, just know you'll be waiting until 11 until this place opens.
Yes. And that's the train depot too.
Oh.
Open at 11. So they close at 4. Now it's 1:38. We still have about 2 hours and 20 minutes left. So we'll head over there now. The great thing about this town is that everything is in walking distance. Pretty leisurely, pretty quiet, so it makes visiting anything here pretty easy. So we made it to the train depot, and wouldn't you know it, that there would be a train passing right as we got here. This is not the original depot. The original one burnt down, but how, when, and why it happened is truly heartbreaking. So make sure when you come here, you ask. No, we're not train people. So the first time we came here, we weren't expecting much, but this last time we went was just like the first. We learned a ton. And if you happen to see the vice president there, Marlon, which also acts as a docent, he'll tell you so much history about California, you'll pretty much know how it ended up being the size it is today. Oh, and remember I said they have trains going through here all the time? The train depot is looking to expand. I think they're trying to get another train car to attach to the building. But again, we weren't train people and we were glued to everything Marlon was saying. And if you take someone here that actually loves trains, well, they'll be in heaven. And all these signs, they were collected by a former Southern Pacific Railroad employee, and his name was Bill Stocco. And our final stop was to get some coffee. And this was a little spot that Irene found that was off the main road. It had a varied menu and it was quiet. And we were highly entertained by that model train just circling above us. Irene ended up getting a tiramisu latte and I changed it up and got an Italian soda. Now it's time for us to head back home. And I think when it was all said and done, we had walked about 3 to 5 miles. Now, if you don't feel like walking, they do have a shuttle service called Dial a Ride, but you have to reserve it in advance. We'll leave a link in the description below. Irene's over there. She's getting some final footage. But we are wrapping it up here at Tehachapi. It's a really cool airport. Everything's walkable distance and very windy though. It's very windy right now. We were gonna attempt to go that way to go to the Tehachapi Loop. We're gonna get up, see what it feels like. If it's too bumpy, then we're just gonna call it a day and just head back home. Let me show you guys the wind turbines. That'll give you an idea of, first of all, how windy it gets and how windy it is right now. If you guys can see that, you might not be able to see it, but they're all turning. They're all turning. It's 11 gusting 20. Naturally, we finished it off by getting some coffee at a place One fly coffee. Baby, what was the coffee?
One Fine Day Café.
One fly gang?
One Fine Day.
There was neither of those. One Fine Day Cafe. So, yes. Again, thank you guys for watching. We're out of here, and we'll see you guys on the next one. So it's sunset, and it's a little later than we anticipated, but it's okay. We got to spend some time with a local aviator named Paul, and he told us all about his aviation history, which was extremely fascinating. Let's just say he worked on some pretty big deal secret projects. And no, we didn't get the details, but he did just share that it was a really, really great experience, and he had a lot of fun while doing it. So thanks, Paul. Oh, and Paul did share one final tip. When you're departing here and it's windy, try to stay north of Highway 58. It'll help from getting caught up in any rotors off the hills. We had such a great time visiting Burbank, and even a greater time reading all your comments. Some of the highlights was finding out that the opposing traffic on Bravo commented on our video that they heard our tail number and knew that Burbank would be coming out shortly. That's so cool that someone remembered our tail number. You guys also liked how I discussed a little bit and was able to show you what it takes to color grade some very, very hazy footage. And finally, finding out that the IFR approach radio communications has helped you, because anything that makes your flying easier is such a huge deal for us. Time for us to show our appreciation. We want to start with super thanks. I want to thank Chris for constantly being a huge supporter of ours. Can never say enough how much we appreciate you. Next, our YouTube members, Thomas, Gary, and Pilot Chip. A special mention to Pilot Chip. Thank you for keeping us safe in the SoCal skies. And finally, our Patreon members, Chris, Tony, Steve, Rich, Tyler, Phil, Michael, and our newest member, Chase. We appreciate you so much, and thank you for helping us get to that next airport. Coming to Tehachapi Airport, we're reminded that if you have a pilot's license and a plane, whether rented, owned, or you're lucky enough to borrow one, it really shrinks the world in a way we never anticipated. Recently, we asked a question on Instagram of where we were at with a picture of some tanks, and we had many correct answers, but there was one in particular that really stuck out to us. This gentleman responded with the correct airport, and then I responded that he definitely knew his desert airports. His response was, that, or I've flown to literally every airport in SoCal. Time building was a fun time for me. And I completely get this, because I remember during my IFR training, any cross countries that we had to do, I told my CFI, I do not want to go back to any airport twice. I always wanted to see something new. So thanks for letting us share that message, Henry. We received a comment recently, and it was something about being rich. I guess because we own a plane, we're rich. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really wish he was right. But that's when I realized, oh, this person isn't a pilot, because most pilots I know are not rich at all. We're just trying to figure out a way to put some avgas in the tanks. Probably the most financially irresponsible thing to do is buy a plane. But it's been the most incredibly soul-fulfilling activity we have done in the last 3 years. And like that Da Vinci quote said at the end, there you will always long to return. And after every flight back home, the question is always, where are we flying to next?
Tehachapi traffic, Aero 1939 Hotel, taking runway 29 left downwind departure, Tehachapi.
Now we know you guys love the desert, so we're excited to hear what you have for us this week. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, go fly, go discover.
Tehachapi traffic, Aero 39 Hotel, turning left crosswind 29 Tehachapi. Tehachapi traffic, Aero 39 Hotel, turning left downwind 29 Tehachapi.
Southwest 507, contact SoCal approach 134.2.
34.2, Southwest 507 1.
AirTag 51, traffic south 10 miles northwestbound. City gates 14,400.
AirTag 51, we're looking. Joshua, AirTag 51, we're going to remain in this orbit, but we're descending to 8,500.
AirTag 51, roger.
Joshua, approach Hawker 99 Papa Romeo is descending to cross Copal at 140.
Good evening, Joshua. Departure Aero 1939 Hotel, 8 miles north of Fox Airfield, VFR request.
November 1939 Hotel, Joshua Park, Palm Altimeter 2994, request.
2994 and requesting a flight following to Corona, Alpha Juliet Oscar 7500.
Aero 39 Hotel, clock 4676.
4676, 39er Hotel.
November 39 Hotel, radar contact 4 miles north of Fox Airport.
39er Hotel.